Всем привет! Ну что ж, мы приехали поговорить с нашим первым подозреваемым. И пока наш чернокожий напарник побежал к заднему входу, мы попробуем зайти с парадного. Такие дела.
Someone took out sections of the fence. Odd.
Вообще у него как-то домик выглядит как один бомжатник.
Interesting taste. Been centuries since a gardener visited this house. Maybe Boccarini's business isn't going too well.
Да, судя по дому, тут вообще полная жопа.
Boccarini? Carlo Boccarini?
Nothing of interest out back. Sorry. You better come see this, Mr. Ness.
What is it?
I don't know how to describe it.
Тут коня двинул. Правильно понял? Или склеил ласты. Может быть, даже наложился в руки. Да я наложил на себя руки. Ну давайте. Вот самое интересное, пошла долгая загрузка. Как так? Как так-то? Так бы сразу. Оу.
Is that our man?
Boccarini.
My God.
We have to find out who did this and why. Let's go.
You're the detective, Mr. Ness. Besides, Alfonso will want to see this. I'll be right back.
All right.
Да.
I have to establish how Boccarini died. Maybe the body parts can shed some light on the motive.
Окей. Давайте посмотрим на нашу доску. Что у нас тут? Это очень странное управление. Так, инфо. Clues. Mutation. Ничего нету. Так, ладно. Я так понимаю, надо здесь все внимательно осмотреть. Такой начинается геймплей. Немножко в стиле лануар.
Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several.
Новая петь. Нет, новая улика. Что за улика? И что ты хочешь, чтоб я что?
The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs.
В смысле? Ладно. Не очень понял. Пока процесс...
Holy Christ, what the hell are we up against?
Не знаю.
His eyes were pulled clean out of their sockets. Whoever did this, it wasn't their first time. And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies. I must remember to ask Alice.
Окей, спросим потом. Так. Что у нас тут? Язык.
His teeth were all pulled out before he was killed. The buildup of blood inside his mouth speaks for itself.
Окей, я понял. Новая какая-то хренька. Так, глазки вырваны, язычок вытащен. Что-то еще? Нет, все. Еще у нас тут лампа качается. Что, сквозняк, что ли? Подожди, а почему вот мы когда... можно двигаться.
Pity he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost pass for a tree. There's no doubt the murderer took his time.
Окей. еще тут интересного можем? О, мы еще и руки отрезали.
It's a tear. His hands were ripped off. Who has that kind of strength?
То есть не отрезали, оторвали. Интересно. Что у нас там? Бутылку, что ли, в жопу? Не в жопу, в бок ставили.
What's he got stuck in there? Looks like the bottom of a glass.
Стакан!
It's Boccherini, no doubt about that. Although the one I remember was more together.
В печень в стакан ставили. Это вообще жесть какая-то. Так, и что нам с этим делать-то? Почему у нас так, стакан, еще какая-то хрень, еще какая-то хрень, еще какая-то хрень. Так, ладно. Всячески намекают на то, что надо как бы использоваться бордой, но я хочу еще посмотреть.
Comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall.
Улики, улики, улики. Кто-то вломился в окошко.
Evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer?
Уа. Сколько всего пошло. Так. Так, что это? Сломанная ножка, правильно?
Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy, or maybe it was thrown extremely hard.
Точно какой-то сейфоголовый тут ходит.
A perfectly circular dint, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter. Fingernails scratched the wood.
Круто, круто. Что у нас еще есть?
Blood ran like water.
Ага. Все. Забавно. Плавненько. Это что такое? Будильник? Нет, часы. Часы. Релакс.
Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken?
Хз.
Blood. Blood everywhere.
Ага.
What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
Ну да, ему же руку оторвали. Видимо, часы стряхнули. Так.
This was opened recently.
В смысле? Это убийца пил, что ли?
Smells of whiskey. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside.
Сколько улик. А мы сейчас замучаемся, короче, эту борду составлять. Вау, ствол.
Something under there.
Волына.
How did it wind up under there?
Ахаза.
Not one round fired.
Ага.
It must have happened fast.
Выбили из рук. Походу, не только мощный, сильный чувак вломился, а еще и очень быстрый, как понос. Так. Бобы. Нет.
What is it with Italians and olives?
Оливки.
They lap those things up like caviar.
Оливки. Что-то на все время нужно двигаться только в левую сторону.
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccherini's too worried about that.
О, стакан.
4 glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine. I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one.
Молодец, чё. Похвально. Что такое?
Leftover lasagna,
Сомелье.
and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccherini had company for dinner.
Я постараюсь собрать сначала все улики, а потом вот разместить их на доске. И у нас ножик пропал.
Knife's missing, the biggest one. Shut from the inside.
Ну, окей. В отличие от Лануара, здесь улики находить проще. Они подсвечиваются, когда мы только проходим недалеко. Но, с другой стороны, это и не Лануар. Так, у нас еще не все исследовано. Знаете, где? Наверх нам не пойти, а вот здесь, да. У нас еще тут не все исследовано.
Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the two of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen.
Ложечка.
Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Sticky liquid клей, что ли? Или что у вас там? Оу. Полегче. Что у вас здесь?
Oh shit. I should have stayed in my diner.
Круто. Ха-ха-ха. Клево. Ну что, давай не будем разъединять остальные пальцы. Будем. Прикольно. Офигенно. Нет, такого в Лануаре не было. Там в жести, конечно, хватало, но не такой. Это уже чернуха из разряда Вилуизена какого-нибудь. Или чего-нибудь. Не знаю, пилы какой-нибудь. Ну-ка, что ты там прячешь? Покажи нам.
Are these teeth from the body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less.
Клево.
What is that?
Это символ. Похоже на хер с яйцами.
Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in?
Это сатанисты. Наркоманы, проститутки. Все. Все рассмотрел. Так, что у нас тут? Здесь ничего, здесь гараж. Ну что там в гараже? Большая красная машина.
This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini.
Давайте посмотрим, что у нас тут есть.
Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo.
Что там?
Cigarette case. OB. One of the Boccherini clan?
Ну, допустим. Только одна фара, что ли?
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way.
Все? Или еще что-нибудь? Люди. Ладно, у меня такое ощущение, что я нашел все улики. Давайте попробуем разобраться, как работает эта доска. Доска.
Pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house.
Типа, угадай, что есть улика, что есть не улика. Так. Бутылка нам, наверное, ни о чем не говорит. Это что-то разбитое хз, пистолет, вино. Вот это вот.
The pistol, fully loaded.
Да.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room.
Нет? Ну да. Тоже правильно.
A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside.
Нет.
Onto the same room as the jam. A door in the corridor jammed shut.
Нет.
It opens onto the same room as the locked and open bottle of whiskey.
Да ладно.
I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin?
Torture.
A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken and the strap fastened. A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. 2 pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position? The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall.
Ну да, притащили его.
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back.
Нет, нет. Я думал. Так, ладно.
The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking the stairs. Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama.
Так, ну эту ветку мы заполнили. Окей, давайте с машиной разберемся.
The initials OB on a cigarette case. A car with Vermont plates. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house.
Ну как, они ж тут.
Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for 2.
Ну да.
The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up?
Ну...
A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room as the A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Нет.
What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house?
Хороший вопрос. Что ж делать? Ну, вот у меня тут все-таки смущают эти закрытые двери.
Door in the kitchen, locked from the inside. It opens onto the same room as the jammed door in the corridor. A door in the corridor jammed shut. One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Так, ладно, походу у нас все-таки еще свидетель где-то здесь в квартире сидит, но мы пока должны полностью разгадать нашу... Что это? Логическую цепочку фактов, улик. Как это вообще назвать? Так, мутитейшн. Нет, нет.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some
Нет.
sticky. Boccarini's teeth were all pulled out. The murderer tore Boccarini's hands off. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccarini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them?
Ложка.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccarini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest two possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it?
Больше на культистов похоже.
Symbol drawn in blood. A sick altar of human flesh. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
Пугай ты нас так.
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
I didn't notice there was a doorbell.
Says the man Milton had left in charge of an important investigation. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me.
Куда же мы пойдем?
He had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccarini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccarini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccarini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him through the corridor into the hall. He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccarini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares me more. Wait a second. What about the guest?
Right. Come with me. Nothing.
Turns out Mr. Untouchable isn't infallible. But you were close. Congratulations.
This must be Boccarini's office. Let's take a quick look around.
All yours.
что ж, я чувствую, мы выходим на какую-то, не знаю, финишную прямую с этим Бакарини. Мне хотелось бы закончить эту серию немножко пораньше, чтобы следующий тоже было что показать. Я не знаю, правда, насколько она будет длинная глава следующая, но что-то мне подсказывает, что может быть совсем короткой. Поэтому давайте на этом интересном моменте, интригующем, что же мы здесь найдем. И после всех этих ужасов, увиденных в доме, что сделали с бедным Бакарини, мы на этом остановимся. А продолжение уже в следующей серии. На сегодня все. Спасибо за просмотр. Надеюсь, вам понравилось. Ждите следующую серию. Она будет совсем скоро. Пока-пока.